Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Old Time Rock and Roll. I'm your host, David Tear, where I've been featuring my personal list of the top songs of the rock era from 1954 to 1999. Today I'm up to song number 2949, which is I Live for the Sun by the Sunrays. In case you guys are interested, the Sunrays were a surf band from California from mid 60s. Here's a picture of them. I guess they kind of modeled themselves after the Beach Boys, who were the most successful surf rock band that ever was. They had several hits, several really big hits, and there were a lot of kind of copy groups of them, and I guess the Sunrays were one of them. Although um, the lead singer, I forget his name, he was a personal friend of Carl Wilson of the Beach Boys. So anyway, I think they didn't have very many hits. They didn't actually have any top 40 hits. They had three minor hits, and they were all I think featured on this album here called Andrea. This was the only album they ever came up with. They didn't last very long, like I said, but their hits were the one I'm featuring today. I Live for the Sun. That came out in '65, went to number 51 on Billboard. Andrea was actually a bigger hit. I didn't realize this. I don't think I've ever heard this song, Andrea, by the way. That's probably why I didn't feature it on my list. But this one actually made it to number 41. Just barely missed the top 40. And they had one other hit in '66 called Still. That reached number 93. So, like I said, they weren't a huge group, but I like the song "I Live for the Sun," and it's a fun song. It's a fun surf song. As a matter of fact, I don't know if this is true, but there's a movie that came out a few years ago called Love and Mercy. It's actually a biography of Brian Wilson, the main member of the Beach Boys who wrote most of their music. And I don't know if you realize this, but he had some mental issues. Unfortunately, I guess he was finally diagnosed as being bipolar. But I mean, it's a very dramatic movie, and you probably wouldn't expect this for Brian Wilson and Beach Boys. The Beach Boys had such cheerful songs about, surfing and enjoying the sun in California and hot rodding, I mean, they just seem like the most joyful kind of, teenager young man band you could imagine. But Brian Wilson actually had some major mental health issues, and it has a good ending. I would recommend you guys watch this movie. It is pretty dramatic, but it has a happy ending. He ends up falling in love and getting married to a really wonderful woman who I believe well, I think he died recently, but I think he stayed married to her for the rest of her life. But why am I mentioning all this? Because there's a scene in the movie in which his father, I guess he had some issues with his dad too. I mean, he was trying to do some very innovative music. I think around 1966, they came up with the album Pet Sounds, which was pretty much a departure from their earlier music, which is more kind of happy surf music like this. And there's a scene early in the movie where I guess his dad is kind of frustrated with him. He says, "Now this is a hit, I Live for the Sun." I guess it was a popular hit in '65 when Brian was trying more experimental music, and I guess his dad thought that he should stick with the old surf sound that they started with. But I think it's good that they became more innovative, and I mean, the Beach Boys are a great band. Just all the music I think was great, and like I said, they influenced a lot of follow up kind of copy bands, and the Sunrays I guess were one of them. Like I said, I do like this song, but unfortunately they didn't have very many other hits. So anyway, that's my profile on "I Live for the Sun" by the Sun Rays. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.